Alright, so today we're gonna talk about something that's a little bit different from the channel. I mean, not so different because I've started to talk more about, the little betas of games, beta slash demos of games that I'm interested in and that I get to play sometimes because, why not? I didn't talk about Mecha Break. I did play a ton of Mecha Break, by the way, but I didn't talk about that one because I felt like I didn't have much to say and everybody else would talk about it. Plus, my PC was not good at running that game. However, the beta that we're talking about today is the beta for SYNDUALITY Echo of Ada. So this game has been on my radar for quite some time now. It's a mecha extraction shooter game. So first of all, I have never played an extraction shooter in my life. I have never touched one of them. I have watched a couple people play Tarkov before. I have watched a little bit of Dark and Darker. It's not exactly a genre that I'm so into because visually it's not very appealing, though I'm always pretty surprised by the sound design of Tarkov. Like every time I watch somebody play that, I'm like, whoa, what? I thought somebody was knocking on my door. What the hell? But yeah, basically that's all I know of extraction shooters. So SYNDUALITY is basically the very first time that I get into an extraction shooter. And here's the thing, I have to be honest and say it straight up, I only played 4 hours of this beta. So the reason why I've only played 4 hours of the beta is because I have lost interest in the game pretty fast. So the things I'm going to talk about in this video, they're not necessarily to bash the game, but it's more like to talk about little things that I wish this game did better and that I hope to see them improve in the future, because at the moment it's still a beta. The game is not even out. There's not even a release date, so I don't even think this game will come out at the end of this year. It might be a game for like 2025, I think. But regardless, another thing that's also important to note is that this game is based off of an anime, if I'm not wrong. Overall, I think it looks great. I really dig the design of the mechs. For example, I think that's probably the thing that I like the most about this game. I think it's really cool. I really enjoy also the controls of the game. They're very responsive and very familiar too. They don't go for weird controls where maybe you jump with triangle or something like that. No, the buttons that you press, they do exactly what you think they'll do. So they did a good job when it comes to the whole, I'll say, gameplay aspect of the game. It's fun, it's easy to play, and the whole extraction shooter part of the game actually is easily the part that I like the most about my experience with this game. The reason why I lost interest in this is not because of this. It's not because of the genre that the game sets itself in. Personally, when I play a game, or a game like this in general, there are very like specific things that I'm looking forward to and that I basically hype myself for, right? So I love customization, and easily in this game, that's one of the things that, like, from the get-go I got a little bit bummed out about, because I was like, okay, maybe when people played the old beta they didn't see the customization, and then I click on the customization for the mech and there's nothing, and I'm like, well, I guess there's really nothing for customizing your mech in this game. And that's the part that bummed me out the most, is that there's no customization parts when it comes to the mech. You can customize them. I mean, you have different parts. You can have different torso, different arms, different legs, and that's about it. That's about it. You have basically sets of mechs, right? And they all have like 3 different parts, like torso, or rather body, arms, and then legs, and then that's all that you get to mix and match between the different parts. And each part has different, I would say, things that they're good at and things that they're not so good at. So you get to like play with the stats a little bit like that, but it's not necessarily that deep. In fact, it's really flat and bland. And that's the part where I was a little bit bummed out, because my expectation with extraction shooters is that The whole point is to go into a map, to explore, gather resources, and then get the hell out of there, right? That's the whole point of this genre. So when I think about a mecha game that is also an extraction shooter game, my thought is, well, logically, the whole point of this is for my mech to be a walking loot box, a shiny golden loot box. And not only do you want that to be the case, you want other people to see that, and you want to look at those people and you want to point your gun at them and say, don't even think about it. You know, that's the whole thing that you want, right? To me, that's the idea, at least in my head. When I thought about this game, I thought, you know, that would be the goal of the experience. But that's not the goal, because from what I've seen, I didn't go that far in my experience, but from what I've seen from the other people's experience, it seems that the goal of this, it's just to watch your little AI waifu taking a bath. And that's where my brain disconnected entirely. I was like, well, all I saw during those 4 hours of just playing the game, it was me looking at the menus. And when I look at the menu in the garage, I just see the waifu walking around, cleaning stuff. And it's like, oh, it's like we're in a couple and something like that. And I get it. Again, I play Code Vein, right? I play a lot of anime game or anime like games, right? I'm not a stranger to these aspects, but it's not something that I'm looking for necessarily. It's not like what gets me to play those games. I get the culture around waifus, but is there more than that, you know? And for this game, I did not really see it, and I find it so unfortunate because I think the gameplay is fun, and I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it. There are other little things that I found very disappointing about the game as well. For example, I didn't really like the traversal mechanics, because there are basically none, and that really surprised me, because I was like, well, how come there's no traversal mechanic, like, you know, having the rain or even dashing through the water, reducing the heat buildup of your mech and stuff like that. And there's even a lava area in the map, and I got inside the lava like on purpose, and all it does, it just damages your mech, which is kind of lame, but it doesn't cause your mech to overheat somehow. And I'm like, that's a little bit of a missed opportunity there once again, you know. It's kind of bland, too flat, you know. You need a little bit of complexity there. That would be really nice. So stuff like that definitely bumps me out. But definitely, like I said, the part that bumped me out the most is the mech customization, because I think it removes so much from the experience. That could be, it removes like a part of the experience that could be really, really engaging. But that's not what we get. We get the same starting point when it comes to the mech, and because of that, it causes an issue where as a player, you are not curious about what the other players are using, and because you're not curious, there's very little incentive in attacking other players in general, because you can fight other players, you can just kill them because you want to. And unfortunately for this game, I don't know how it is for other extraction shooter games, but for this game, I think it's kind of a missed opportunity, because you don't really have an incentive to attack another player. You kind of just do it because you just want to ruin their experience. I did that once. I killed a player once. There was literally no reason for me to do that. I just did it because I could, but not because I saw the loot. And then I even killed them, and I picked up the stuff, and there was nothing valuable in there, even though my magus was like, oh, I'm really jealous, they have some good gear and stuff like that, and there was nothing in there. They had like a blue material or something. And the thing that I find really lame about that is that when you begin, even if your magus tells you, oh, they have something good, you don't know what it does, you know. You don't know what it does. But if you saw a part, and that part was like you know, I don't know, something like an inner part, like a cooling system that is a gold rarity cooling system, for example, that they have. Now that's valuable because you don't have that. But then again, the mech customization is very subpar, so you don't have inner parts, you don't have like gun attachments, you don't even have different types of weapons, you don't have many choices. Basically, there are a lot of different types of weapons, but it's not varied enough. There's not attachments, there's not like mini upgrades that you can have, that you can steal from other players. You don't have a lot of things, right? You don't even have the ability to take the battery from another corpse to continue your exploration in case your battery is low, right? If you had that, at least that would be an interesting mechanic, but you don't have that. So the game definitely lacks a little bit of complexity when it comes to the mech, and puts too much of it, or too much emphasis at least, on the megas, which by the way talks a lot during the exploration. And I find it really unfortunate. I mean, I don't dislike the megas, I just think that they take too much spot for the part of the game that is probably the most important. One last thing about the megas actually is the fact that whenever you are in a fight and you use the megas ability, there's this little cutscene that's happening. The problem with the cutscene is that you kind of don't see what's going on in the middle of the fight, and you can still get it. You can still be getting shot in the middle of that. So it's a cutscene that's there. Yes, you can see the megas doing the stuff. Yes, it's cool, but I would much rather have the option to at least turn that off and be able to just see what's going on in the fight. So little things like that really matter. And again, I didn't watch the anime, so I'm not that attached to the megas, and I'm more here for the fact that I have a cool mech, and I'm playing this, you know, different style of mecha game that is a bit more heavy and bulky and can be fun in its own way. So I'm looking forward to that experience, but that experience is a bit bare bone, and I wish it had a bit more to give. So that's really my issue with SYNDUALITY. I think it's a fun game in general. I think it can have a fun loop. I'm not really going to criticize too much when it comes to enemy variety and stuff, because I think for my experience, for the 4 hours that I've played, I was pretty happy, because just looking at the one area that you had access to for that time frame, I think was really kind of nice. So I'm just, you know, I'm looking forward to this game if it's improved. So that's the thing. I like the concept a lot because it's new and it's kind of refreshing, but I don't really like the way it's executed at the moment. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry if this video was a bit negative, it came out negative, but I just feel like I wanted to share this because, you know, not a lot of people talk about this game. Unfortunately, it seems like Bandai Namco is not really doing a great job once again at marketing the cool games that they have, because they're too busy marketing only one game at a time. Like Dragon Ball right now is their focus. So even Bleach is getting the shafted on the marketing, which is crazy to me. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.